welcome to my channel. And today we're recording in this very fuzzy robe and this blanket because it's completely frozen over in my apartment. So just bear with me. We're still trying to do a video today anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna bear the freezing tundra.
Fine.
So if you're new to my channel, you probably see that I do a lot of anime and show content, but what you may not know is that I also have a Twitch channel. I do a lot of gaming as well. I love video games. And this video is gonna be about Control because I love this game so much. Control and I have a very interesting relationship, let me tell you. It's helped me grow as a gamer in a lot of ways, and it smacked me down more times than I can remember in order to do this. Oh, you about to give me the two-piece special? No! This game, I've rage quit multiple times, and I'm not proud to say that. But I've also experienced some amazing triumphs, so I am proud to announce those.
1 hour later.
Okay.
There's no black pyramid here.
I'm so happy. Woo. I did that shit. I fucking did that shit. Yeah, baby. It's also the only game besides a Final Fantasy entry that I've ever gotten past a 90% completion in. So what makes it so hard for me to put this game down? That is the question that we're gonna answer today. And my answer is gonna be very long and very drawn out because this game is so amazing. What makes it so hard to put down is everything. It's Jesse, it's Ati, the janitor, it's the whole setting of the bureau, it's the oldest house, the environment, the controls. See what I did there? The endless droning of the voices of the hiss in the background as you're walking through all of the various hallways are just, it's so unnerving. It gets under your skin, and then the suspense of the story, the knowledge of what mysteries you're gonna be uncovering along the way. Control has this way of completely taking you into its universe, and from the very beginning, once you walk in, it just keeps you there. Even when you're not playing, you're thinking about Control, and I won't forget that from my experience with this game. So you start off this game just walking into the building of the Federal Bureau of Control. And from the moment you walk into the building off of the street, you feel like the journey you've started to uncover were the secrets of what exactly happened to her in her childhood in Ordinary, and what happened to Dylan, and what exactly is taking over the bureau when she walks in. Once you're already doing that, even within the first 10 minutes of this game, you're already consumed by what is happening. Finding every little piece of correspondence, every little email, every part of that mystery is leading you into that rabbit hole that's somehow gonna help Jessie find the path to her mission. And it's so important that you read every single file, because that is how you help Jessie, and you want to help her because she's so magnetic from the beginning, because you're like, what is it about her? Like, what is going on with her? What is it? And all of the existing people that work in this building, the Bureau of Control, all the people that haven't died yet that meet Jessie, they also want to help her, because they're like, what is it about her? Who is she? And they find her just as magnetic as you do, because the hiss is fucking terrifying, and she seems to be the only one who's able to stop it, of course, because, Jessie's she's our main bitch. But Jessie, as we come to know and we find out, Jessie has these supernatural abilities, and we start to slowly gain abilities and new functions to the weapon that she has, which is the service weapon. It's the weapon that is given to every director of the Control Bureau. And the weapons and the abilities that she gets are used to fight the hiss agents that are attacking Jessie throughout her journey to get through this place. And we sadly find out that the hiss agents are members of the Bureau who just hadn't been wearing these special pieces of equipment when the exposure happened, right? So as you're walking through the hallways, you see people suspended in air, right? And these people are sometimes just wearing suits. Sometimes they're just, women dressed in office attire. They become susceptible to becoming hiss agents because they weren't wearing the little things, the HRAs. That's what they're called. But they're basically this little vest thing. Hadron resonance whatever. I forget the acronym. My brain is mush. But yes, those things protect you from the hiss. The rest of the people did not put them on in time, and they got taken over by the hiss. So we're killing people, real people who went to work that day, and that's sad. But yeah. Anyway, they're taken over by the hiss after the last director, who we see in the very beginning as we're starting the game. He's the first to be possessed by the hiss, and then after him, it just takes over everything, because the hiss took over Director Trench, manipulating all of his actions basically, and allowing him to set the hiss free in the entire facility. So now Jessie enters right after those events, and she takes over as the new director to help them contain it. Now, this is not a title that she takes on confidently, and I absolutely loved that. She is so reluctant, and we can all identify with that really uncomfortable feeling of, I just got here. I don't know. I'll do it, but damn, man, why me? So Jessie has to get through that. And as she's walking through the corridors, she realizes that she couldn't communicate with Trench after he's already died through the hotline. And he tells her about what she has to do in order to undo what he's done and what's happened after all of the internal lockdowns between all of the different sectors of the Bureau as a cause of the hiss just getting out everywhere. And it's crazy because we just saw his dead, lifeless body in his office not 5 seconds ago, right? And that's just the beginning of the game, guys. That's just the beginning of the game, okay? I'm stressing that to you because when I started this game, I didn't know that it was gonna get so real so fast. And then I was just like, huh? It was so good. Like, not just the intro, but the fact that this is just the very beginning of the journey into this game. And then what follows is just twists and turns as we discover the clues about objects of power, the oldest house, AWEs, which are altered world events. See, that one I remember. Altered world events, and I'll explain those later because it's massive. But we eventually meet Dr. Darling's assistant. Her name is Emily Pope. And she tells us that Dr. Darling, her boss, he's the head of research before she had to take over. And she tells us that he was extremely secretive and he never gave her any access to any of his labs or any of his research. So she's essentially blind, having to research all of the hiss, taking over everything. She's having to take over all of that blind because she has nothing, and Dr. Darling is nowhere to be found. They've been looking for him ever since this began, and they cannot find him. Upon learning this the first time, I was a little bit annoyed because I was just sitting there like, why would you do that, Dr. Darling? Like, I felt like something evil was going on. I really went my whole playthrough thinking that he was doing something like evil and sinister, and then it just turns out that, like, yeah, I'm not gonna elaborate further because there's just a lot of mystery enshrouding his character, but it turns out that he was really just a really eccentric guy looking for knowledge. And when he finally found that there was no way to get out of his situation without causing harm to everybody else, he was like, I'll just go down with this ship. I will go down with this ship, and I won't put my hands up and surrender. Okay, sorry. But he actually did surrender because we don't see Dr. Darling at all. All we see is little remnants of his research, like recordings, essentially.
Of course, a prime example of an OOP, a very powerful one. Ingrained in the Bureau's DNA, a key component in our prime candidate program.
And he did all of this for everyone's safety. It's pretty, I kind of wanted to cry, but thankfully they kept us distant enough from his character that, like, that realization didn't fucking break my whole heart. But man, I like Dr. Darling's character. Anyway, this game is beautifully done. I will admit I dropped it during the first Tomasi encounter. Like I said, I've rage quit this game multiple times because Tomasi was difficult as fuck. He really was. I was gonna drop it and never come back, but I did. I came back and I tried again and I got stuck again. And my first Hiss Angel encounter, you know, the ones that fucking blow up and scream in your face, yeah. And then I came back and I continued playing again, and I got stuck at the fridge boss, former. But then I beat that ass too. Fuck that. Those bosses are extremely brutal. I will say this game has made me a much more resilient and resourceful player. Once I got to the Marshall DLC fight, it only took me a few tries. Okay, maybe I'm lying. I think it took me like 10 tries, but hey, I got that trophy. Okay, I got the trophy. The point is, this game was extremely, extremely brutal, but I loved it. I loved it so much, and I don't regret a second of playing through it. I would say that my favorite part of this entire game was Ati. Ati, the janitor. He's a little mystery within a game that, after finishing it, I still don't fully understand. And I love that. There's just so much vagueness to who he is. And it's left to the player to piece together who he may or may not be. And I feel like he's guiding us from the very first time that you meet him. And he's like, oh, just go for the interview. And he like leads, he like tells you where the elevator is, and you walk towards it and it just opens.
You need to go to the interview. Go that way to the elevator.
Thanks. Elevator that way.
Like, it's very interesting what he can do in that place, considering the fact that he's just a janitor, right? They want you to believe that he's just that, but he tells you that, you know, I'm his assistant, me, Jesse. We're his assistant. Yet he can somehow hear our thoughts. Like, dude, it's insane.
Off night shift loner jobs to know it makes us come off weird. Ahti the janitor is a friendly face in my book.
Better than somebody with no face at all. Think about it. No face.
And then there are moments where we're helping him, and then in turn he helps us. They have found him in places where no one else has clearance, and he's just there minding his own fucking business, just like and they're just like, okay, we're just gonna let Ahti do his thing. But Ahti's like off in the Oceanside motel taking his vacation and shit, while I'm trying to fucking get to the ashtray maze and do my thing. Like, all I'm saying is it's perfect and I need more Ahti. Thank you. Just the story is so fucking good. It led me into an Alan Wake rabbit hole. Because did you know they share a universe? Because I didn't know they shared a universe until this game. I know, I'm behind on literally everything. I know that. But getting back to the altered world events definition, Bright Falls is itself an altered world event, just like Ordinary was. And we find this out in the Alan Wake DLC with the flashes of Alan Wake talking to Jesse. And that's what made me start Alan Wake later on, because I hadn't played Alan Wake before. I'm in the middle of playing Alan Wake now. I'm in the 5th chapter. But yeah, this game is what made me start Alan Wake, and here we are, full circle, making this video today. The whole point of this video is basically an ode to Control. Because I played Control in the middle of a pandemic. I was jobless. I had been streaming for a couple months at this point, I believe. And I was, unbeknownst to me, sinking into a bit of a deep depression again. And it's hard to explain, but the way this game made me feel, I felt like I wasn't alone in it. Like, I could venture into the hiss and fight my way through them and to the other side, because I was like Jesse. I was strong and I was capable. And I know this is random and anecdotal, but when games can reach you on that level, you know they're good. It met me at the depths and it reached in and it helped me out. And I defeated the hiss and I took my seat at the director's desk. And there was something really empowering in that. This game has stuck with me. It easily became one of my top 5 favorite games, hands down. And I recommend that everybody try to play it, at least once. God, this game is so good. I just don't want to stop playing, even though I should. I know that not all games are for everybody. This game has only one difficulty setting, and it is difficult. It's not labeled difficult, but it's the universal setting. And a lot of people have complained or told me that it's very hard to get through. And I understand. Some games aren't for everybody, but if this is something you want to give a try, do it. I will say that there are games that aren't for me, like Returnal, for example, that I've been stuck on for a whole 7 months and I can't get past the second biome. So There's nothing wrong with saying that there's just certain games that you can't beat. That's fine. But if Control is a game that you can beat and get good at, definitely try, because the story is chef's kiss. Okay, and that's gonna be it for me today. I really hope you enjoyed this video of me just praising the fuck out of this 10 out of 10 game. And I hope that if you one day attempt to play it, I hope you don't get your ass smashed down by Former, because he's a bitch. Have a good day, guys.